What is marketing? Marketing is everything we do. It's who we are. We are the brand. So every time you leave the house, physically or digitally, you're being measured. People see you as a public figure. For instance, ladies, let's pretend it's Sunday morning. You get up and you're out of cream. You need some cream for the coffee. So instead of putting your makeup on and getting all gussied up, you throw your hair up, put a baseball cap on, don't put any makeup on, some sweatpants, and you're going to make a run to the grocery store. You're going to be in and out in just a minute. But you know what happens? It's Murphy's Law. You go in the grocery store, and the builder developer that you've been trying to get in touch with, the guy who's got 20 houses that he wants to list with somebody, and you've been calling on him, isn't be returning your calls. Lo and behold, what do you run into? The builder developer that you've been trying to get in touch with. Now, you're in a real unusual spot. Do you hide from him, like 9 out of 10 people, or do you engage him and put your reputation at risk because you don't have your best Sunday dress on? See, the point I'm trying to say is you are the brand, and every time you leave the house, your reputation goes with you. So what you wear, what you drive, how you conduct yourself in the community, you are a public figure, and people judge us based on the gossip they've heard, the quality of your work, what people have to say in terms of testimonials or endorsements. Do you do great work? Your brand should be so recognized. People in the grocery store who don't even know you should be saying, there's our local real estate agent. That's what marketing does for you. It takes that brand and it puts it front and center in front of everybody in the community. So when they see you, they think real estate. Now, friendly people attract more business. In fact, they probably attract a lot more business than unfriendly people. You know, nobody wants to list their house with Cranky Carl. Nobody wants to look at houses with Debbie the Downer. Everybody's got problems. You do and I do. But here's my suggestion. I was taught this a long time ago. Put your problems in a shoebox and leave them at home. The reality is nobody wants to hear about your issues. So leave those at home. And when you leave, put a big smile on your face. You're going to meet people throughout the day who can't afford to give you their smile. You give them yours. It didn't cost anything. But a smile lights up a room, changes the whole tempo of the conversation. Think of it this way. Buying a house is scary. They need to be around somebody who can add some energy to this whole experience. Make the environment feel calm and comfortable, and somebody who seems happy. They want to be around a salesperson they like and enjoy. You need to be that person. Now, even if you're not in that frame of mind, because we all have issues, I need you to fake it. I need you to put a smile on, because what's the interesting thing about this is when you put a smile on, the mind cannot distinguish between vividly imagined facts and real facts. Pretend to be the person you want to be, and you become the person you pretend to be. That's how it works. It's really hard to be unhappy with a big smile. So I need you to smile. It's part of being a great salesperson. So when you meet somebody, reach out, give them a handshake, and put that big smile on so that they will remember you because you are the brand. What about you says I'm a realtor? So, you know, I'm always surprised when I'm teaching a class or I'm doing a whole speaking engagement and there's 100 or 500 or 1,000 people in the room. And only a minor fraction of them are wearing their name badge. It's like the rest of them are secret agents. They don't want anybody to know they're in real estate. And that doesn't make any sense because as far as I can tell, you want everybody to know you're in real estate. You should be at the coffee shop picking up a coffee on the way to the office and somebody should look at you and see that you're in real estate because you got your name badge on. And they're going to say, oh, you're in real estate. I want to ask you a question. Next thing you know, you're in a conversation about real estate. You're trading cards and some information and you're going over to do an evaluation on their house. How did that happen? Because you were wearing your name tag. What about you says I'm in real estate? You know, a lot of times people don't want to wear career apparel because, you know, they feel like it just doesn't fit their persona. I'm going to say to you that career apparel, name badge, think of it this way. If you made one sale a year because somebody asked you about real estate because they saw your name, saw your car signs, saw you were wearing career apparel that had your company name on it. If they asked you about real estate and you made one sale, what's that sale worth to you? Is it worth $10,000, $15,000? What if I said to you, I'll pay you $10,000 to wear your name badge. I'll pay you $1,000 a month to wear your name badge, $250 a week. I'll pay you $50 a day every time you leave the house to wear that name badge because I know if you do, you're going to sell a house because of it. I want you to think of it in that regards. Also, too, if you're going out door knocking, a company baseball cap, a windbreaker, something that says I'm in real estate, you know, list with me on the back of my windbreaker, that sort of stuff. And if you work your farm and you have material going out that's consistent and you are happy and very engaging when you're out, people are going to know you're our local real estate expert that lives in the neighborhood. And that's all part of the brand that we're going to be talking about today in this session in terms of creating. Now, the next thing I'm going to suggest is that you need to specialize. And we're going to talk again in the session of lots of different specialties. But if you don't specialize, in fact, if you sell everywhere, no one's going to know you from anywhere. And I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but often I find people are working in an environment of scarcity. They're ambitious and they don't have any business, so they'll take any business they can get, even if that business takes them very far afield. I'll give you an example. I managed an office on the north side of Toronto. Some of my agents where I were would sell off houses in the suburbs, and then the baby boomers might empty nest down to a condo downtown, which was a good 45-minute drive to the core of the city. Now my agents, though it was a 45-minute drive and they had a guaranteed sale, they sold their seller's house, who was now going to be a buyer. They were going to buy a house that was a guaranteed sale. The problem was they didn't know anything about where they were going. Now, I would explain to them they would be better off to refer to a local agent downtown who knew all about the condo market and knew how to, that way their customer was going to get the level of service they deserved. But 9 times out of 10, the agent wouldn't give it up. They'd drive the client down there and unfortunately, they wouldn't even know where to park their car or how the streetcar or the subway system worked or what it was like to live downtown. How can you sell something that you're not an expert in? That to me seems really unfair. I'm going to give you another suggestion. Whatever you do, you should do for the benefit of the people you work for, not for your benefit. Do it for them, not to them. Hear me when I say that again. Do it for them, not to them. Care more about them than your commission check, and you'll have so many clients lined up. The best thing my agents could have done in that case is got a hold of a really great agent downtown and said, look, I want to send you a referral. These are really good people. They're qualified. They're ready to go. Help them make a really good decision, and I'm counting on your local expertise. That to me would have that would have created the quality in terms of that relationship that the client really deserved. So from your perspective, I'm going to suggest that you become a specialist. Now, when I use that term, it can be geographical, it could be price range, it could be a style of a house, it could be an age group, a demographic. There's lots of different things you can specialize in. We're going to talk about all of those. But most importantly, come up with a specialty. Now, you can have more than one specialty. That doesn't mean that's the only thing you do, but you could have more than one. The point is, I need people to recognize you as being somebody that's exceptional in that category so that they are attracted to the quality of your work and your local expertise. That's when your stock value goes up. Prospects judge us on our marketing materials. So if you think you're going to do some marketing, but you're going to do it on the cheap, then people are going to think that you are a cheap agent. So if you send out some really crappy marketing materials, the only calls you're going to get are from people who don't want to pay the fees based on a quality experience. So already you've created an uphill battle before you've gone into the appointment, because right away the sellers you're doing business with are the ones who are saying, well, you cut your fees because you don't really look like you're worth what you're asking for. So my suggestion is, if you do anything, do it right. I would rather have you reduce the number of units and increase the frequency and the quality, if that makes any sense. Often people say to me, I'm going to start a farm. I say, that's a great idea. I love that. How many houses are you going to do? Well, I'm going to do 15,000. I'm like, what? You can't do 15,000. You'd never be able to afford the marketing materials and the time and the effort and the energy it would take to make that connection. Marketing is about developing a brand that people recognize. I always tell people, start with a farm somewhere between 250 and 500, something that you can get out and do some door knocking in and get some traction, something that you can afford to consistently market quality material into the marketplace so people recognize you. And the material's clever and it's sharp and it's bright and it pops and it's got my interest. I'm going to tell you again, as we go through the session, I got lots of great ideas for this, but everything you send out, your reputation goes with it. So make sure it's done properly. You want to earn a reputation of exceptional, great customer service. And this is an area today you can stand head and shoulders above 99% of the agents in the industry. Most people are trying to figure out how they can do their business for less, and in the process charge less, and it becomes a race to the bottom. In fact, today, forget real estate just for a second. Today, if you have an excellent customer service experience, it's the exception, not the rule. And in a case like that, we're pleasantly surprised. Oh my gosh, you wouldn't believe how great it was. Well, shouldn't every experience be like that? I mean, you're paying for it, I'm paying for it, the consumer is paying for it. Shouldn't it be like, oh my God, that was so great? I need you to be so good the world can't ignore you. You need to be exceptional. You need to think about what problems, issues, or concerns might my buyer or seller have, and before they even ask, I need you to answer a question that they're not even asking. And they're like, wow, this guy is amazing. That's how good you got to be. Are you a pro? Are you really a professional? Then you got to dig in and you got to put everything into this to be exceptional. But if you do, I'm telling you, the word will spread wide and far and fast because people are so used to getting bad service. When they get great service, they can't believe it. And they're going to tell everybody about it. See, that's part of marketing. Remember I said to you, excellence is one of the easiest things to market. So be really good. I want you to deliver the unexpected so that you create raving fans, so that when the neighbors say, oh, I saw you sold your house with Bob, Bill, or Sally, they're like, oh my gosh, you wouldn't believe how great they were. You wouldn't believe all of the extras they did. I need you to do that, and I need you to do it so well that they tell everybody. And in the process, the referrals start and the repeat work starts. And people start to recognize your mail pieces because of the quality of work you're doing in the marketplace or social media or whatever it is we're going to be talking about.